Okay, check. You're good over there?
Yeah.
That's my first time, bro. So we gonna get through this shit.
For sure.
All right. Like I ain't done no intro or nothing. This is my first time. So welcome to the AlwaysMind Podcast. Today we got my boy Nate Pearson.
Yes, sir.
6'3" lefty.
6'5".
All right, bro. So let me see. How you feeling? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Everything's been straight?
Yes, sir.
Busy?
Yeah, busy.
Yeah, bro. I know you told me you was washing jerseys and shit, so I had to do that at Clark. I was not feeling it.
Nah.
And people be stank after one game, one practice, so I already know.
For real. Especially when you got to touch them jerseys be, yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's not the deal. So let me find... Okay. So you want to get straight into it, or... All right. So before Hoover, because obviously you had a life before high school. Was it always basketball? Like, what was going on?
So I grew up in Claremont.
Okay.
Blue Roofs right next to like Limber Schweitzer Elementary.
Yeah.
Never played basketball. Wasn't really tripping. Was one of them nerd kids. Just wanted to play video games, Madden 2K.
So you wasn't like doing no sports, nothing?
Nah,
You was chilling?
No sports. I started playing basketball with my friends, like Kareem and Jordan, all them dudes from Madison. Probably like 6th grade, 7th
Like
grade.
Kareem Coles. Which Jordan?
Tatro.
Okay, I don't
He
know.
went to UC.
Okay, yeah, I know Kareem Coles. He was a quarterback
Yep. So
my freshman year.
Kareem and Jordan and me were all neighbors. We grew up right next to each other. So we all used to just hang out.
Oh yeah, I forgot Kareem was hooping too. He hooped at Madison, but bro was like quarterback, so
Yeah.
I be forgetting he hooped.
Yeah, that's who got me into hooping, him and Jordan.
Okay. Kareem's a lefty too, right?
Left-handed.
Yeah.
That's my guy. And then after that, what happened? We ended up moving. Situation. Moved right next to Patrick Henry, and I went to Lewis.
Okay.
Went to Lewis. Then I started playing basketball because there's a basketball gym right next to Lewis. So it was like,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
Wasn't taking it serious. Really didn't know how to play.
He was raw.
out there. Yeah, very raw. Like only could dribble one hand. One of them type of dudes.
Okay.
After that, we was only there for like 6 months. Moved to City Heights. Went to Clark. When I went to Clark, Morrell and Sean and everybody introduced me to Coach Walt. And then,
Yep.
the rest is history. I started working out and went to Hoover. I wasn't even supposed to go to Hoover, though. I was supposed to go to Madison.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about. So, going into Hoover, freshman year, what are you thinking? What's your expectations your freshman year? Like, are you expecting like varsity or like I'm cool with where y'all put me?
Be honest, I wasn't even tripping for. I still didn't care about basketball. Not like that. I was just out there. All my friends played, so I played. They threw me on the freshman team. I was happy. I was just happy I made the team. They wasn't really worried about it. Just.
And that's the year before CIF or?
Yeah, right before CIF.
Okay. So your freshman year goes on. Do you go up to varsity at any point in your freshman year, or are you kind of still chilling, cruising?
Freshman year, it was rough. Our team wasn't good. We had a whole bunch of younger dudes. So
For varsity or
for freshmen?
For freshmen. Okay.
So we had like 8th graders, 7th graders back then when they allowed that. So I was like one of the oldest dudes on the team for a freshman.
Yeah.
So they bumped me up to JV for one game. I had like a double in like 10 minutes, and then they bumped me up to varsity that same exact night. So I played freshman game versus Patrick Henry, JV game versus Patrick Henry, then varsity game versus Patrick Henry.
Oh, you was busy.
I scored 2 points every single game. So at least I scored every single level in one day. So I think that's big.
I don't think I've met anyone that's done that, actually. It's usually just 2 at most.
Yeah.
So it was against Patrick Henry?
Every single time.
It was all home games?
Nah, so the first 2 was at Patrick Henry. The last one was at Hoover for senior night. So I played on senior night.
Oh, you're lit.
Freshman. Yeah.
That's lit. So freshman year goes by, right?
Yep.
You go into the summer.
Yep.
Is that like one of your biggest summers then, I'm assuming?
Nah, that was my second biggest summer. That summer, we worked a whole lot on learning how to dribble for real and athleticism. That's when I got athletic and started being able to jump and rebound and all that kind of stuff.
Travel ball or strictly in the lab?
Travel ball, I was for Supreme Court with Coach Zach Jones.
Yeah.
And then just was in the lab with Coach Walt every day, like 4 times a day.
Okay. Who was on that Supreme Court team? Do you remember?
Otto Taylor from Saints.
Yeah,
I
remember him.
Yeah, John Young from Madison.
Yep.
Then a whole bunch of like random people from like Scripps Ranch and up North Schools, North County.
Solid team, or y'all
Solid
just
team.
Okay. All right, so sophomore year is obviously the big year, right? So you go in. What's the team looking like as you go into varsity?
So
I know that was your year. You were strictly varsity.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that summer going into that year, that was my first summer playing with varsity for the whole summer. So we just got this dude from New York, Tyrone Johnson.
Okay.
He was left-handed too,
Yeah,
so he put me on. He got me my confidence right. He stayed on me and just got my first dunk that summer.
Crafty. I seen a little bit, and he was crafty.
Yeah, he was a stud. He could just hoop. He could go. And then that whole summer, it was supposed to be Miles, Day, Sean Pablo, and Jordan and me. And then leading into the season, we had dudes from the football team come out.
Okay.
And I ended up ineligible. So then that whole lineup changed, and it was a bittersweet for me because then I learned that not everything is just given. You got to really work and take it serious.
Yeah. So you're ineligible the first chunk of the season?
First 15 games.
Ooh. Okay.
11 games? 11 games.
So what's that like? Are you sitting on the bench, or are you kind of like,
bench.
man, forget this? I'm not even. Okay. Dang. So they're still, obviously they're winning, right? The first half, or first 15. You go into playoffs. What's that like? Is there pressure on you, or
not even playoffs? I was in before that.
Okay, so how was it like when you got back? What was our first game back like?
Our first game back, we went to Arizona.
Okay.
We went out there. We played like some nationally ranked teams, and those games were pretty rough. But we learned a lot about ourselves during those games.
You guys went to Arizona.
We played a team from South Carolina.
Okay. Do you remember anyone, or were they just solid teams?
Oh, solid team. They had 2 7-footers that played together. One was a shooter. The other one was like 7 foot, 280, and they were sophomores together. They probably went D1 somewhere, but I don't remember their names or nothing.
And this is like 2012, right?
2012, 13, yep.
I don't remember San Diego having any like 7-footers shooting
At all.
Probably ever, to be honest.
Yeah.
In high school. So, yeah, that was probably a wake-up call. So you guys go to Arizona. You come back. How many games left until playoffs? Or is it
we had about
league after that?
We had a league and like 3 more games.
Okay.
So we came back. We played like 3 games, and then we went straight into the league.
Who was in the league at that time? So I know it was different.
Us, Mary Mesa, Patrick Henry, Morris
and San Diego? Was it still San Diego back then?
Maybe. I think it was San Diego. Because I know for sure. And Sarah.
Yeah.
So I think it was like 7 of us in that league. The leagues were a little bit different back then.
So how did that go? Do you guys sweep everyone, or is there a couple games?
We lost to Morris once.
Okay.
No, yeah, I think we lost to Morris once, and then we beat everybody else.
Okay. So a pretty smooth ride to league title, right? Yep. Do you remember your seeding? Was it D3, right? This is before
D2.
D2? Is this back when?
Lincoln
was this
D2
the first year where
else.
divisions were based off of competition, or is it still
they started
population?
that in 2014.
Okay.
They started that 2 years later.
Okay, so D2 is probably the most stacked division, right, at that time?
Yeah, it was like us, Lincoln, La Casa. All them teams were in one division.
Pretty full then. Pretty full. So how do playoffs go?
Our first 2 games is blowouts. I think we won both those first 2 games by like 30-40.
Okay.
We ended up playing San Marcos. They came down. They were a really good team. They came down. We played them at Hoover. They went to overtime. And that was like the only team that kind of shook us.
And this is semis, right?
Yeah, semis right before CIF. This is the only team that shook us and got us a little bit nervous. I remember the lead dudes like Miles and Data and Sean were like, nah, we gonna win, but everybody else, you could see it in their face like, oh, this might be our last game.
Yeah. Was it seniors that was feeling like that, or is it the younger ones?
The younger ones on the bench.
Okay. Yeah. So it's good that y'all have some leadership then, because I've seen that happen to teams where they kind of go in and it's like, we're done, you know. So I can see that. So y'all beat San Marcos in overtime,
Right.
right? So now it's CIF time.
Yep.
So I know you guys played La Costa Canyon.
Yep.
Who did they play on the other side of the bracket before? Do you remember?
I want to say Lincoln was on their side,
Okay.
but then I don't remember who else. Yeah, that was a while ago. I don't remember.
And Lincoln was pretty good back then too.
That was the year right after Tyree and Tyrell graduated.
Okay. So y'all get the CIF,
Yep.
and this is when it's in Viejas Arena, right?
Yep.
Okay. So how's that going out on the court? Arena is your first time playing in an arena or no?
Yeah, that was my first time playing in the college arena.
So what's that like experiencing that? You're a sophomore, so you're pretty young at the time. I'm assuming you're the youngest on the team or one of the youngest?
Me and Baca.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Baca was there too. Yeah. So what's that like for you guys? Walk me through that. How about let's start the week of playout or practice before and then going into it.
Week of CIF. We're still going hard. No walkthroughs. Practicing for like 3 hours a day each day.
Yeah.
The day right before CIF though, we did maybe an hour practice. We still get our sprints in.
Yeah.
Going a whole lot over their offensive defense. We scout team. And then the day of CIF, we get there. They put us into a locker room. We get to walk around. We get to shoot around a little bit early. We probably get like 20 minutes, 30 minutes before everybody else gets in there. Get the feel of the court. I think they had some food for us too. Things like Jersey Mike's or something. They had some sandwiches. And then, we just go back into the locker room, go over our game plan, step out there, and he already was out there on the floor, so it didn't feel surreal at the beginning until after you win.
So I never played in CIF, but I went to a few. USD arena though. I forgot what the arena's called, but so I never went to Viejas CIF game. But to me, it seemed like some kids, they get so ate up with the environment, and it's like they forget, like, dang, I got a game, you know. So they're so worried. So was that never a problem? Were you guys that locked in, or? Yeah,
our coaching staff made sure that we didn't really pay no mind to the fans or to the stands at all.
Yeah, because that's bigger than Viejas is pretty big, man, compared to USD. So
yeah, that game we had because El Camino and I think Mission Hills, they played right after us.
Okay.
So their whole student section, everybody was in there watching us play too. So we had their fans, we had our fans, La Costa's fans, and the Saints and I want to say Army Navy played just right before us.
Okay.
So they were there still. And then, so when we started to play the second game, it was very packed.
Okay. So do you remember any names from La Costa Canyon? I know they had that shooter.
They had a shooter.
The guard. I can't remember his name, though.
I don't remember.
It was like number 4?
Yep, number 4. He had a jumper. And then they had Tommy McCarthy. That was the dude that was my grade.
Was that him?
Nah, he was young. He was a point guard. He wasn't the shooter.
Okay.
The shooter was like Van Dyke or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys go on to win. I think it was fairly tight, right? Until the end.
Tight to the end.
Okay. I know you got some minutes in there. You're still a sophomore, so you know, just being in a varsity CIF game is a big deal at that point. You get in. What's that like?
When I first check in and you hear your name, it's crazy. It was live. I didn't think I had a lot of people that knew who I was until to that moment where it came up. It's a lot of jitters though in the beginning. It was surreal. I was just out there running, playing normal, trying to make sure I don't get subbed out so my family could see me.
Trying not to mess up.
Yep. Trying to do everything perfect and just go out there. I got like a steal, and then as soon as I subbed in, I got a steal. And then I threw it up to our guard, and then our guard was on the right wing going up. I'm going up the left wing, and then we had Jordan Alexander in the middle.
Okay.
And then I thought he was going to throw me a lob. I was pointing up. Never threw it. He went to Jordan Alexander. Jordan Alexander dunked it.
Okay, I know what player you're talking about. Was that Tyrone to? Okay, yeah. He was going crazy in the
CIF game.
Yeah, because I watched that video, and he's going crazy pretty much. Him and it looks like him and Dede took control, and they led you guys pretty well. Yep. So you guys go on to win. What's that like? How do you come back to campus after that? What's the feeling? You feel like the man now? Like, what's that like?
For me, I felt like I'm waiting until it was my turn. I'm waiting for the juniors and seniors to get out because our seniors didn't really play. Those were our role players. Yeah, you could say. The best players were juniors, so it was that junior class was our dominant class. So me and Baca were just waiting our turn and
it's feeling like, man, if we can do it now, we can definitely do this again.
Yep.
Okay.
We thought it was gonna be 3 years back to back to back.
So you go to state playoffs, right?
Yep.
But it's just like I forget a lot of times that, So you go to state playoffs. What's that like?
Our first game is at home. Our team comes down from Fresno. They're supposed to be a really good team, like a top team in the state.
Yeah.
Didn't go as well for them, but I was happy it went well for us. We ended up winning that game by 35. It's a lot. Like, we won by a lot. And then that game I played a lot, so I was happy that the team was as good as what our coaching staff thought.
Okay. That's good. So is it 2 games before the state?
4.
It's 4. That's a lot. Okay, so how does the second game go?
Second game, we play San Marcos.
Again?
Okay. And, they came back down again, and they were ready. They were leading at half, and that was like the first time we wasn't leading at half in the game that we won. So our coaching staff really put it on Miles and Dede to really lead the team to victory. Was down like, I think it was like, not a lot, it was like 4 or 5 points. Yeah. But to us, that was a lot because we're used to leading every half. Yeah. So they just got everybody together and let it be known that this wasn't going to be our last game. We're going to get to another game. Yeah. And then we ended up pulling it through. I remember I had a very brain fart moment when Miles had got a Euro and one, and then when the ball was going through the rim, I smacked the ball in. So you got
interference?
Yeah, basket interference. And I remember Miles just looking at me, shaking his head. I was just like, dang, that's such a brain fart moment, especially when we was down. I think we was down like 1. Yeah. And then I got that. And then I got subbed out.
So you guys end up winning though, right?
Yeah, we ended up winning by like 3 points.
So San Marcos is a pretty good matchup for you guys. Yeah. Every time y'all played.
Yeah, that was probably the best matchup.
Did they have anyone that you remember, or is it just solid team?
Solid team. They had a whole bunch of shooters, like 1 through 5. There was no big man. Everybody could dribble. Okay. So it was like they were like us, but just more shooters.
Okay. So third game, right? Y'all getting close to a state. Yep. A state title chance. Who's the next matchup? Is that at home or you guys?
Nah, so we drive to Redondo Beach. Okay. And we play Redondo Union. That game was rough. Our 3 best players had 4 fouls within the first half.
Yeah, that's rough.
So we had to play without Dede, Miles. Dede, Miles, and Jordan for the first half. Okay. So it was really just me, Sean, and Tyrone. And that's when the coaching staff seen it in me that I was going to be a really good player. Okay. I had a couple pins that game, a couple rebounds. I did what I had to do to keep us at least in a chance to win. Yeah. That environment, though, was probably the best environment I've been in before for that whole time. Probably sophomore year under, that's probably the best environment I ever played in.
So packed house?
Packed house.
Okay.
People have faces. The crowd had faces of the players. The players is over there hitting threes and then doing the Florida chomp in your face. Like all type of crazy stuff. The fans were, they were live.
So you guys going to lose that game or?
Yeah, we lost.
Going to lose a big loss or? It was like okay.
It was like okay. I think we lost by like 8, but they didn't foul out with like 2 minutes in the third quarter. He fouled out. Okay. And our other seniors fouled out. So.
Yeah, that's rough. So how long was the bus ride? Because
2 hours.
So it was 2 hours. Was it silent on the way back, or y'all kind of like, at least we won a ring and there's nothing really to hang our heads over? Or did y'all feel like y'all could have went all the way?
Yeah, bittersweet because that team ended up winning it. So we knew we was better than the team. We just felt that if it was in a neutral site, we would have been state champs.
And the state title games were what, at the Sacramento?
Yep. So which would have been live.
Yeah, in the Kings Arena. That would have been fun.
Sure.
So sophomore year ends, right?
Yep.
What's your next move? What happens now?
That's a big question. So then that summer,